week. As far as I understand, there will be a hearing on Thursday morning to address those violations. So this day, starting with some bad news for Donald Trump, now fined $9,000 for violating the judge's gag order.
If $9,000 isn't a huge amount of money for a guy like this, especially considering...
Okay, guys, it's April 30th, 2024, and this is another video recording. I'm going to post this once again. I'm going to publish this once again on YouTube, and this is the same Shawn, Dexter, John. Okay, so hold on. I'm going to make sure that it's... Okay, so it's about 10.2 seconds. But anyway, so yeah, forget about the, don't forget about the image in the mirror. It's a bit dark in the back bathroom. Okay, I'm gonna have to explain this to you guys. It's a bit dark in the bathroom, but you can still see it's me, obviously. On a daily basis, I do make sure that you guys see that it's the same person publishing these video recordings. But yeah, so but anyway, I'm going to write a work paper today, and it's going to be in the Social Security Administration, the SSA, the Social Security Administration of the United States, and how our partnership with it, the CIA and Interpol's partnership with it, has helped create a protocol toward creating or establishing the public services. It's called the public services. What are we gonna call it? I did provide a YouTube video recording on it yesterday. It's a directive, a public services directive of the Americas. It's gonna be certainly it's gonna be called the Public Services Directive of the Americas, or Public Services of the Americas. Actually, we're gonna settle on Public Services of the Americas. Okay, so that's what I published last night on this particular issue. That having to do with the Social Security Administration of the United States, the SSA, and our partnership, the CIA and Interpol's partnership with it, in creating once again the directive for the Public Services of the Americas. Is going to be part of the fundamental nature and structure of the Union of the Americas in 25 years, but preceding that, it's going to be a directive of the EAA, the Free Trade and Economic Area of the Americas, which is going to be established in 2 years in 2026. So yes, that's going to correspond with the Free Trade and Economic Agreement of the Americas, or the same agreement, but of a similar or slightly different title. But I'm pretty sure the EAA, that's going to stand. We're going to make sure it's called the Economic Area of the Americas, but it's going to be officially the Free Trade and Economic Area of the Americas, EAA, and the corresponding, the inceptive treaty agreement might be called, or likely is to be called, the Free Trade and Economic Agreement of the Americas, and that might be the subtitle, or that might be the title, and there might be some sort of subtitle to this particular treaty agreement. But the concept itself and every one of the directives and agendas of this doctrine that are presented to the world in serving as the chief manager of the United States government and its partnerships, and in serving as the nominal manager of the Central Intelligence Agency and Interpol, it's viable, and it's not just viable, it's mandated. It's mandated by the Central Intelligence Agency in agreement with the federal government of the United States via representatives of each and every one of the agencies and departments within the federal government of the United States. And sometimes the agreements, the related agreements, are established covertly. Sometimes it's a bit more expressed and publicized internally or externally, or broadcasted to the world. Maybe 30 minutes within a 30-minute segment, or otherwise, but it's still official. And eventually, when these things manifest into public agencies and public offices and structural offices and systems and so forth, then you guys will see that it was always mandated, that it always takes a while to be able to materially affect. So yes, we are going to have the EAA in 2026. At this point, the mandate is effected, but it's going to be materialized and broadcasted in 2026. That's what I mean when I say the EAA is going to be established in 2026 and globally broadcasted as established in that manner at that particular point in 2026, 2 years from now, within a 2-year period. Okay, so that's what I'm going to write on today. The work paper is going to be 1 to 2 pages. It might get to the point of being 3 pages. I'm not too sure yet. I do have the outline already memorized. I have everything memorized regarding what I'm going to write in advance. I just have the list of what I'm going to point out, what I'm going to focus on a particular day, but I have everything outlined. I literally know everything at this particular point. I don't need to. I've studied scientifically for over 25 years now on this particular topic of global integration, world governance, continental union, domestic and multinationalism, as domestic and multinational structures and institutions and concepts and systems and so forth, supranational government, public policy, public administration, law, legalism, jurisprudential studies, international diplomacy, international development, international relations, international studies. I've been doing this ever since 12 years old. So at this particular point, everything is already outlined in my mind. I don't have to write too much down as I used to when I was growing up, and when I was a very young kid. But at this point, I'm pretty much proficient. I'm damn near perfect, articulating what I need to articulate, and I don't forget any major point. That's guaranteed. I don't forget any fundamental or major point that needs to be exposited or articulated in presenting my publicized work. Okay, so not my publicized work, but my published work. Sometimes it's publicized, here and there, and not to a global audience yet, but to governments. But okay, so I have a lot of work to do. So I'm gonna finish up. I ate breakfast, so I brushed my teeth. I'm gonna brush my teeth again. I do the same thing every morning. I wake up early in the morning. I take a shower. I brush my teeth. I eat breakfast. Or sometimes before eating breakfast, I might look into my laptop or my tablet, whatever I have with me at that particular time, and then sometimes I brush my teeth after eating breakfast and I head out. And I might sit at McDonald's or a KFC or a restaurant whenever I do get an opportunity. That's what I've done, other than being in a house or apartment all day long. Writing. When I did the legal article, I was in the apartment all day long for about 3 months, and even though I did go out to the grocery store and stuff, but for the most part, for about 3 months in my apartment, and I authored the legal article, Americana, the New Society's Concepts and Apperception, Political Apperceptions of an Eastern Caribbean Model of Commonality. So I've done a lot of field work as an agent. I did help police and stuff. I did that in the past a bit, after I wrote the book sketch, so that folks wouldn't figure out what I had planned next. While I was agenting, while I was helping police, the law enforcement as a field agent, early on, I wrote down the drafts, sketch, essay sketches on a blog site. I made it appear to be completely incomprehensible, but everything that I needed to know at that particular point for writing it over, purported as written over, was within that. So there would be nothing missed by me, and having so much information in my head and not being able to carry too much written material with me. That's just not safe. So I want you guys to understand this, all right? I work very hard, and I don't work without thinking things out. I really take my time to get everything done. And I'm not braggadocious in doing so, I promise you. I gotta make sure that you guys know that it's actually April 30th, 2024.
The shootout began around 1:30
That's sad. That's sad. No police officer should have to die or get shot. That's very sad.